28, and I came in this space. It was Daphne Todd's show on, and it was a wonderful show, lovely paintings. And I did a terrible thing and looked at the walls and thought, you know, wouldn't it be great to do a show that kind of almost fits the space? And I've been to see Broughton Derby. I popped in there to see James Lloyd, who's a brilliant painter, a show in there. And it occurred to me that there were some brilliant paintings there, but they would just happen to be the last 50 paintings James had done. So I kind of thought, although they were brilliant, but I kind of thought, you know, it's important to try and put on a show that's kind of based around something. I've never really done that before, because as I said, the way I work is plein air painting, and it's just kind of getting in a car and driving to Devon and driving to wherever, and just doing. So I just thought I would really actually, having said all that, try and do that. And there's this area of London that really tickles me, all of us really, probably, is Regent Street, Piccadilly, the West End around here, because there's just so much going on, and the architecture is so fabulous. So I just decided that I would start around here, base the show kind of on particularly Piccadilly, which I just kind of love, and just see what happened. And I had in mind those two big paintings that are in here, the rainy one and the sunny one. I had that size already in mind, and all of the canvas, and they sat there in the studio. In fact, I was a bit ambitious, there was about 3 or 4 other canvases as well, but with an idea that something needs to go on there, but I don't know what it's going to be until I've kind of come up with some imagery that I think, yeah, that's it. And of course, one of them was this one here, and somewhere, it's a bit sad it's not out, I kind of wanted it out, but somewhere, I keep forgetting, so this is the study for the one in the window, which is obviously in format kind of like out to here. So I had to go out and, I wanted to do this, and I didn't want to do it straight up and down. I wanted to do it landscape, so I had to go and get this other section here. So I did a bit of maths and kind of worked out how big this bit had to be. So I went up with this bit here, and I kind of got the thing up and marked off kind of more or less my scale of where things were. And then took that out to the Piccadilly Circus on a rainy day and painted, that bit of Regent Street which goes up there and those buildings there, and that was a sort of canvas like this. In itself it was kind of like, not really a painting, there wasn't kind of enough there, and then bolted it, when I took it back and bolted it on and then squared the whole thing up and then sort of scaled it up and did from there. And it's a bit strange, I mean those two and the other big Piccadilly Sunny one, that was done in the studio as well. Which I'm not, it's a place where I'm not very comfortable painting. But I really wanted to do some big scale work, so there wasn't really much way around it. And in fact, I get very unconfident if I've done something purely in the studio. I can't really do it. And the rainy painting in the end, I took out. I was a bit worried about the drawing because it's very, when you've got something this big and that you can actually. The squares are still on here actually, you see a square there, so the square's that big. So when you've got a smudge, like that, then when that gets scaled up, that sort of smudge, obviously that smudge that big is suddenly that big and you can't get away with the smudge anymore. So there's all sorts of things that kind of, problems that crop up. And so what I did with that one is I got I think the scale was going a bit all over the place. Anyway, I brought it out quite early. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, to Piccadilly Circus when there weren't many people around because it's quite a big thing. And lent it up on the easel and just it was quite a good thing to do, and sorted out the drawing and just redid some bits on a grey day, not a rainy day. And it did make a difference, and I felt more confident. And while one of the days to go on Waterloo Bridge, a huge one of Night Sea of the City, I did the same with that. So when it comes to it, I kind of think, just not confident enough just to put it on the wall. The same one has been done totally in the studio. I haven't brought out to a comment. That's the middle of Piccadilly. You would be in one lane going west and one lane going east. So that one wasn't. But so that's kind of. So that was the idea of the show, to do that. But then, as I say, you can't. Anyone who plein air painter does that sort of. You can't help but do a left turn. If you then come across a nice bit of sun somewhere. You can't just go, I'm not painting that because I'm doing Piccadilly today. So you kind of end up doing left turns and doing all sorts of bits as well, all the other stuff to sort of come around. But the idea was to base it on there. And so that's kind of how the show's come about. Also, the show came from the book. So in putting together the book, which is something I've wanted done for years and years and years, and I've kept it see, I kept all the transparency and everything to paint, well, everything I've ever photographed. I've photographed Messum's and photographs of between us, you know, there's enough. We had thousands